Today, we are diving into a really fascinating trend. We're looking at exactly why so many expats, digital nomads, and retirees are ditching those sky-high coastal living costs and packing up for Ensenada, Mexico. Seriously, if you've been dreaming of waking up to ocean views but absolutely shuddering at the California price tags, you are in the exact right place. We're going to unpack what makes the city tick, and we'll separate the romantic myths from the actual on-the-ground realities. So, here is our roadmap for today. We're breaking this down into 5 key parts. First, we'll look at the Cinderella of the Pacific. Then, we'll dive into the ultimate financial advantage, followed by world-class food and wine, high-quality, affordable healthcare, and, finally, what it actually takes to embrace the local rhythm. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, Cinderella of the Pacific. This is where coastal beauty meets some serious convenience. Now, if you're actually considering the move, you should know that Ensenada is incredibly diverse. It's not just one big beach town. You've got the bustling, highly walkable heart of Zona Centro, which is great, but, can get a little noisy. Then contrast that with the tranquil, affluent hills of Chapultepec. Craving premium oceanfront living and craft beer? Well, El Sauzal is absolutely your spot. Or if you want a true off-grid nature vibe, Punta Banda offers this amazing rustic coastal escape just about 45 minutes south. But to really get the city, we have to look past the perfect postcard views. Moving here is a real adventure. The expat bloggers, the wandering smileys, hit the nail on the head. They noted that living in Ensenada is not a sanitized tourist experience. It's real, raw, and alive. Basically, you are swapping that manufactured resort bubble for a truly authentic, culturally rich lifestyle. Moving on to Section 2, the ultimate financial advantage. Let's talk about slashing your cost of living. The sheer economic power of moving to Ensenada is just staggering. To maintain the exact same standard of living, you'd need over $9,000 a month in San Diego. But in Ensenada, just over $3,000. Let that sink in for a second. That is a massive return on simply packing up a moving truck and driving 70 miles south. And housing is a huge part of that. It's incredibly affordable. In fact, rent is roughly 25% lower than it is even in neighboring Tijuana. This means expats can snag oceanfront properties for a literal fraction of what they'd pay in California, or even in other parts of Baja. So your everyday survival costs are just slashed dramatically. Think about it. A 1-bedroom apartment in the city center is under $600, compared to well over $3,000 in San Diego. Basic utilities? Less than $50. This drastic reduction means you can finally stop working just to pay your landlord, and you actually have the budget to enjoy your life. And having that extra budget comes in handy for Section 3, world-class food and wine, and the whole BajaMed movement. Did you know Ensenada is actually a UNESCO Creative City for gastronomy? It's famous worldwide as the birthplace of the fish taco, for sure. But it is also the beating heart of the incredible BajaMed culinary movement. It's this brilliant fusion. They take advantage of the cold, nutrient-rich Pacific waters, pulling in fresh bluefin tuna and sea urchin, and they pair it with Mediterranean elements like local olives, cheeses, and organic produce. It's out of this world. Oh, and if you are a wine lover, you are going to be thrilled. Just 30 minutes inland is the Valle de Guadalupe. This single region produces a mind-blowing 90% of all Mexican wine. Imagine having a world-class wine country, a place people regularly compare to Napa Valley, literally right in your backyard. All right, let's pivot to Section 4, high-quality, affordable healthcare. For a lot of folks, this is a very pleasant surprise. Healthcare is a huge concern for anyone moving abroad, right? But many expats are pleasantly shocked by the modern private healthcare infrastructure down there. You've got facilities like Hospital de Prado and Hospital Velmar offering comprehensive services, from 24-hour ERs to advanced cardiology. The doctors frequently train internationally, they often speak English, and they provide highly personalized attention. It's a stark contrast to the rushed red tape experience we often see in the US system. Plus, for really complex subspecialty stuff, the JCI-accredited Hospital Angeles is just a short drive up the coast in Tijuana. But the financial aspect of this care? It's phenomenal. General medical care is 40 to 70% cheaper, and standard dental procedures are 70 to 80% below US market rates. It is so affordable that people commonly pay completely out of pocket with a credit card for a fraction of what their US insurance copay would have been. Literally, you could earn travel points on your root canal. How crazy is that? Finally, we reach Section 5, embracing the local rhythm. It is time for a quick reality check. Because let's be real, the single most common question any prospective expat asks before they even start packing their bags is about safety. We've all seen the headlines, we read the travel advisories, and it is completely natural to be concerned. But according to locals, including an expat who has lived there for over 15 years, as long as you stick to the main areas and use basic common sense, the city is incredibly calm and welcoming. The reality on the ground in the tourist and expat zones is people walking their dogs, strolling the Malecon, and visiting wineries. It simply does not match the fear-driven narratives. Now, petty theft can happen if you leave valuables out, but random violence against tourists? Exceptionally rare. You will, however, need to adapt to the infrastructure. That's just part of the deal. Occasional power outages happen, and municipal water rotations might mean you have to install a storage cistern. And then there is Mexican time. You really have to embrace a culture where a promise to arrive in 5 minutes might actually mean 20 to 40 minutes. Relationships and human connection matter way more here than strict to-the-minute efficiency. Learning to slow down is just part of the charm. Also, if you plan to commute back to the US, the border crossing is a genuine logistical hurdle. The standard lanes can trap you in your car for hours, but there are workarounds. Getting an RFID passport card for the ready lane cuts that time down, and upgrading to a Century Pass, that absolutely transforms the experience. It turns a multi-hour ordeal into a fast, totally manageable 10 to 30-minute process. So it really all comes down to this. Are you ready to trade the rat race for a brand new rhythm? If you can swap rigid infrastructure for sweeping ocean views, world-class tacos, and total financial freedom, well, Ensenada might just be your perfect destination. The Cinderella of the Pacific is waiting for you. The only question left is, are you bold enough to try on the glass slipper? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we will see you next time.